Welcome, dear students. After discussions of the heat exchanger classifications, then LMTD for the counter flow, parallel flow, and then we discuss the correction factor as well as the special cases of LMTD, and we also solve the numerical based on this LMTD. So after discussion of this method for analysis of heat exchanger, we are going towards the next method of analysis for the heat exchanger, that is effectiveness and number of transfer unit. So today in this lecture we are going to discuss this method, that effectiveness and number of transfer unit. It is also famous as effectiveness NTU method. So first of all, let us we discuss that why we need to analyze the heat exchanger using this method, as the LMTD method is very useful as well as it is easy to understand, and the simple equation is there for analysis of heat exchanger by LMTD. Then why we need to learn this method? This question is arises in your mind also. So let us we write that what are the advantages and the limitations of LMTD first, and after that we are going in the depth discussions of this theory. So LMTD is used for the analysis of different type of heat exchanger. Then the equation of LMTD is very simple. So this is the advantage, simple equation, and LMTD can be used to design the heat exchanger, design of a heat exchanger. So these are the some of the advantages, but here the some of the limitation is also arises when say design of heat exchanger can be done using this LMTD method, but when the terminal temperature means all the terminal temperature, in technical language we say that the terminal temperatures. So in our language we can say that the inlet and outlet temperatures. So here I am writing down the terminal temperature is known to us, then we can able to design the heat exchanger using the LMTD methods. Otherwise we are not able to design the heat exchanger using this LMTD. So these are the advantages of LMTD. Now problem arises, so I will write it down. The problem arises, the first problem arises if the temperature of fluid leaving the heat exchanger are unknown. In some of the practices, the situation is encountered that the heat exchanger to be run at off design conditions. So heat exchanger run at off design conditions. In this kind of the situation, we cannot able to analyze using the method of LMTD. So for this kind of the situation, we need to analyze the heat exchanger using the effectiveness NTU methods, as well as effectiveness NTU method have many advantages of thermal analysis problems, in which the comparison between the types of effectiveness NTU method has a certain advantages, like using this method we can compare the various types of heat exchanger. For the purpose of selections, for the purpose of the finding out the performance, so now after the discussions of the LMTD as well as NTU method, some of the advantages of LMTD and limitations, then we discuss the effectiveness NTU method and its advantages over the LMTD limitations. Now after discussions of this advantages and limitations of these two various methods, now we are going to discuss the effectiveness and the number of transfer unit. That is two different terms, effectiveness and the number of transfer unit. So first we discuss the effectiveness. Effectiveness is defined as, or it is indicated by this E symbol, and it is the ratio of the actual heat transfer divided by the maximum possible heat transfer. So in notation word we can write that Q actual divided by Q maximum. So the Q actual, we can have these two formula to calculate the Q actual, which is equals to MC Cc then Tc2 minus Tc1, that is for cold fluid, and for the hot fluid MH CH into TH1 minus TH2. So either of formulas are used to calculate the actual heat transfer. Now for the maximum possible heat transfer, we need to go for the maximum temperature difference. So the maximum temperature difference, if you remember, then the TH1 or the TH inlet is a maximum temperature and the cold fluid inlet temperature is a minimum one. So this difference, the TH1 minus TC1, is a maximum temperature difference, and that much amount of heat will transfer, and that is a maximum possible heat transfer. So as we also discussed one of the parameter R in the correction factor theory, that R is capacity ratio. So the capacity ratio is, using this maximum temperature difference and capacity ratio, we can find it out. The Q maximum equals to C minimum into the maximum temperature difference, that is TH1 minus TC1. So now using these two quantity 1 and 2, we can have the effectiveness. So here actual, that is either of that we are taking. So we'll write it down, both the formula for cold as well as for hot. So we know that the Q maximum equals to C minimum into the maximum temperature difference, that is Th1 minus Tc1, and the Q actual, we have two formula, that Cc into Tc2 minus Tc1, and the another formula is Ch in the bracket Th1 minus Th2. So effectiveness we can write using both the formula, that Ch into Th1 minus Th2 divided by C mean in the bracket Th1 minus Tc1. Similarly, for the this is for hot fluid. We can also write for the cold fluid. Cc into Tc2 minus Tc1 divided by again the same C mean Th1 minus Tc1. So we can calculate the effectiveness using both the formula. And for known value, for the known value of the effectiveness, then Th1, then the Tc1 and C mean, we can calculate the rate of heat transfer from the heat exchanger, or the rate of heat exchange between the two fluid, using these equations, that C mean into Th1 minus Tc1. So this is the important formula, students, you need to remember it. Now we define the next quantity, that is NTU. But before discussions of this NTU, we just write some of the remarks over here. The value of effectiveness, is lies in the range of 0 to 1. So when the actual heat transfer reaches to the maximum 1, the effectiveness becomes a 1. Now we go for the number of transfer units. So NTU. So NTU is defined as the ratio of heat capacity rate of the exchanger divided by the heat capacity rate of the fluid. So we'll write it down over here. Heat capacity rate of heat exchanger upon the heat capacity rate of fluid. So our equation becomes UA upon the C mean, and from the equations that NTU equals to UA upon C mean, we can conclude that if U is the overall heat transfer coefficient, it is fixed value, as well as C mean is a fixed value. So U and C mean have a particular value, or for the given value, the NTU is directly proportional to the area. So NTU is the measure of physical size of the heat exchanger, because NTU is directly proportional to the area, and as the NTU increases, the larger size of heat exchanger is required. So here we can write that if the NTU is increases, then you need the larger physical size. Larger physical size. So this is overall idea about the NTU and effectiveness. Students, in next video we are going to analyze the effectiveness and NTU method for parallel flow heat exchanger. Thank you for attending this video lecture.